At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance. We are the future of crypto.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vibraville. Tonight we got a special guest, Project Pi, joining us. Hope you all are having a good night. Looks like we got a couple AI coins starting to move on the market tonight. Bitcoin saw hit up to 102,000 earlier today, so hopefully we can keep that 100K number in the on the floor now. And that'd be a beautiful thing if we could bounce up now, start pushing up towards 108, 110, or 110. And then ETH, hopefully we get the run on ETH. But patience is a virtue. You made it this far. What's another 2 more weeks? That's the motto. 2 more weeks. But tonight we got a special guest joining us, Project Pi, a new liquid staking platform that's coming to Pulsechain. And around here at Vibraville, we're all about passive income, earning that yield, and thinking long term. Doing less with our crypto, having time benefit us instead of using it against us. Figure out ways to let time work for us. So, want to bring up Van, the founder of Project Pi. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing? Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man. Good to have you. Definitely exciting time right now in crypto, in Pulsechain, in the new year 2025. I feel like this is the year where it all comes together. It feels special now.
Yeah, man, glad to be here. It's long time coming, man. Our co-founder, my co-founder, and I have been building out this protocol for a minute now, and been building out for 10 months, and we're live. So super exciting.
Yeah, man. So how long you been in crypto for? Give us a little about you.
Yeah. Again, my name is Vandel, CEO of Project Pi. I've been in crypto since 2017. I actually got into crypto because I was actually a pretty big gamer back in the day. I was playing a game called Maple Story. I was a private server. Company's called Nexon, a Korean company. And in that game, you could actually buy assets with Bitcoin. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, created a Coinbase account, loaded up some crypto, used my Bitcoin to buy some in-game assets, didn't really think anything of it. A year and a half goes by, I run into a YouTube video. They talk about blockchain technology. I didn't know what that was. And then they talk about Metcalfe's law. So I was kind of doing some research and they talk about Bitcoin. I was like, oh, I bought Bitcoin. So I went ahead and checked my Coinbase wallet. And during that time when I bought my first, I guess, technically Satoshi, if you want to be technical, it was just shy over 1,000. It was teetering from like $950 to $1,000. But when I had checked the price, it was $23,000. Now, I wasn't financially literate, but I can do basic math. I'm like, bro, that's a 23x. Like, what the hell is going on? So been going down the rabbit hole since late 2017, 2018, and I haven't stopped, man. It's made me financially literate. It made me have, I don't want to say a purpose, but, like a vision. At that time, I was an undergrad studying computer science, and, it's just a glorified math degree, but there's so many things you could do, software engineer, data engineer, project manager, whatever. But when I found out about blockchain technology, I was like, yeah, I don't care what the hell my title is. I want to work in blockchain. So, I did the, 9 to 5. I was a data engineer at a company called Intuit MailChimp. Did that for a little bit. And at that time, actually where I met my co-founder, Chris, Lefty Chris 13 on X, we met at the Atlanta Blockchain Center where we also created our company. And at that time I was working remote and I told him that, hey, come to the center. I'm bored. I don't really got anything to do right now. Just doing, Web 2 infrastructure stuff. So he came by, saw what I was doing at my terminal on my screen, and it piqued his interest. because little did I know, he was actually working for a Web3 company out in Dubai called Go Plugin, which is very similar to Chainlink. So we just got talking, created, just like, hey, want to create a business? I'm gonna execute. I'm like, let's do it. 20 minutes later, we had the logo. 2 days later, we're incorporated, and we've been building Project Pi ever since. We got the moniker Pi 3.14, and we started with Raspberry Pis, which are little mini computers. Both technical co-founders. His background is in physics, mine is computer science. When he made it fitting, and then we had our first pre-solar launch last year of March 14th, 3.14, and our 2-year anniversary is coming up here. But yeah, that's a little overview of how I got into crypto and a little bit of how Project Pi was created.
That's funny, man. Like I did the same thing back in the day with Bovada, with the online gaming site. Threw some money on there and, lost it or whatever, but I had to use Bitcoin to make the deposit. So I bought like $500 or whatever. And I must have left like $25 or $50 on there for some reason in case I need to reload. I don't know why, but I forgot about it. And sure enough, I came back to it a couple years later and it was like $400 now. I was like, whoa, all right, I need to take this serious now. So that's pretty funny. And I actually have a bag of Go Plugin. One of my friends, he develops and has a project on XDC. So he was telling me just to get a bag just in case. So that's funny. That small world.
Yeah, man, for sure.
So yeah, man. So what Project Pi, I mean, Pulsechain, that's my roots basically. I like a lot of the utility projects. I like a lot of the stuff that's going on in the Titan X ecosystem, but Pulsechain, real DeFi, no one, controlling us. I think the upside is the highest. And it's just what excites me. It's where I like to focus on. So I want to hear about Project Pi, because liquid staking here on this channel, I've been talking about Hedera, and we've been talking about Flare and some of these other projects that are liquid staking, where you don't even have to let the coins leave your wallet to start earning yield on them, and stuff with UFO and PTGC and these other reflection coins. Like, we're starting to create the future of DeFi here on Pulsechain.
Yeah, and liquid staking is not anything new. Rocket Pool kind of created it. I think the company was started in 2017, and I think they started it once. Ethereum went from proof of work to proof of stake. But yeah, liquid staking is a newish DeFi paradigm, and what it solves is capital efficiency. So most people who are just getting into crypto, they're just holding the asset and letting it go up in value or stake it. That's fine. You could stake it, but now you have impermanent loss. You don't know what's going to happen to the pool and all this other stuff. But the beautiful thing with liquid staking is when you do stake your asset, you get the principal back in a derivative or a receipt token. So for us, if you have idle Pulse that's sitting in your wallet doing nothing, you can essentially liquid stake it. Let's just say, and it can be up to 1 Pulse, up to as many Pulse as you want. And you get your principal back in a derivative token called ST Pulse. It is like 1-to-1 to Pulse, but as time progresses, the exchange rate will increase. So it's going to get to the point where, as we mature and our protocol is being used more, when you redeem your ST Pulse back to Pulse, you'll get maybe 0.1 more. And I can kind of show that later on my screen. But really, another question people ask, well, okay, that's cool. Well, if I'm just staking it, where's the yield coming from? The beautiful question is, it's real yield. It's yield coming from the validators. So we also solve the problem of, people getting priced out. When Chris and I went to the Pulsechain Pitch Fest back in March of last year, Pulse was at all-time high. Just to be a validator, 32 million Pulse was like $8,000, and that prices out most people. So we're like, okay, when we actually got invited out to the cruise, the Pulsechain cruise, at the time, Project Pi was just an infrastructure company, with the validators, nodes, full nodes, and all that. So when we built everything out, you can now be a validator for half the price and double the APY. So that's going to help people. And then still being liquid as a liquid staker. And then we can kind of talk more about our tokenomics. But essentially, yeah, you take your principal, you stake it, you get your principal back, and now you're getting passive income just by doing that.
That's awesome, bro. I like that too, how when you do that, you get the yields or the ST Pulse token, and it is worth more. A saucer swap, I really like that on HBAR. The same thing with liquid staking. As it matures, that rate gets a little higher. So one sauce gets you 1.25 X sauce, and then in next month it'll be 1.29, and it keeps increasing in a little bit of value. So that's cool. I like
Yeah,
that.
man. Up and to the right, forever, man. Project Pi, infinite decimal places. So we say coin it like infinite yield, infinite possibilities, infinite solutions, man.
Mm-hmm. So then you'd have your ST Pulse liquid, and once you have that, can you do anything with it, or
Yeah,
that just sits in your wallet?
No, yeah, you can just think of it like it's just normal pulse. Just think of it like a stake pulse or supercharged pulse. You can use it as you would use normal pulse, but now you're just gaining additional yield. Example could be, I have 10 million pulse. I stake it, get my ST pulse back. I don't know how much that is. Let's just say, I don't know, it's like $100. Now you can take your ST pulse and put it in other DeFi protocols. So you're gaining yield in our protocol, which is currently around 6%. And then you can get yield on another DeFi protocol, and then you're making passive income while still being liquid.
And then you could, even if you wanted, you could take it and throw it in the liquidity pair. I'm sure
Exactly.
in the pulse, stake pulse, wrap pulse pool.
Yep, and people have in our community have already started doing that, and they're like, yeah, they love yield.
Yeah, that's what. So there's so do you know Sonny, who's been building some of the stuff in the ecosystem?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his Meth Lab token that gives you back the wrapped ETH that's pegged 1-to-1 with Pulsechain. So you're getting Pulsechain back in a sense. So what I've been doing for the last year is just taking that wrapped ETH I'm getting as a reward and pairing it up with Pulsechain in the pool, because there's really no permanent loss. They stay the same price. So
Mm-hmm.
now you're getting a coin for passive income from holding in different coin, and then you're taking that coin and putting it to work. So it's almost like two vehicles off of one coin, and that's, I think, unique to Pulsechain. I haven't seen this anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly what it is, man. It's a beautiful thing, and with us, we try to innovate, man. Most people will see something and solve problems, and I love builders. And everyone sees something nice, they fork and deploy it. But we didn't just fork anything. We wanted to make sure, like, go to real life events, get the partnerships, get the backing, see what the pain points are. Have the tokenomics match the chain, because anyone could have just went to Rocket Fork and deployed it on Pulsechain and call it a day. But okay, does your token burn? Does it, what makes you different? Yada yada yada. I mean, yes, liquid staking was needed, but I think being innovative is also a great thing as well too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, definitely. So yeah, so when is this going to be up and running 100%? Is there anything that you're waiting for specifically, or what?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, so we wanted to make sure we did everything right. We didn't want to rush anything. This is a pretty big protocol. So we were on testnet for 10 months. We basically wanted to see that we had made sure we had product market fit. So back in February, we said, hey, we're going to do a 90-day early staking campaign. If you want liquid staking built out on Pulsechain, you can simply stake your Pulse, and you will earn our token, PPY, our Project Pi yield, for free. Within the first 24 hours, we got over $100,000 in deposit, which was like, okay, it looks like people really wanted this. And Chris and I, my co-founder, we were fully bootstrapped. So we put all our money in there. We didn't do a sacrifice. We didn't do anything until, we started our fundraising rounds. So after the 90 days, we had people getting our they earned the token as long as they didn't unstake. And by doing that, we just kept building and integrating, meeting people in real life at different events, just letting them know what we're doing, a lot of support, been through 4 audits while in testnet. And, we wanted to make sure that everything was good and everything's compliant. Now that we are officially live, meaning every single smart contract has been deployed, early stakers can now use our protocol in the entirety, because they're the only ones who will be able to have PPY. But anyone who has Pulse can liquid stake and start making passive income. Now, if you're early staker, the first 100 early stakers can actually be a validator for 8 million instead of the solo validator, which is 32 on our protocol. When we cut it in half, is 16. So they can use the protocol, they can make pi pools, and if they have at least 100,000 PPY, which for our tokenomics, the full max supply is 314 or 314 million, and every 100,000 PPY equals one NFT. It's the ERC 404, so it's the first LST or liquid staking token to ever do this. And the cool thing is, we feel like we actually solved a few things with NFTs. So like a normie would be like, okay, well, what is an NFT? I can just right click, save it, and I have it, jokes on you, ha ha ha. Or they'd be like, okay, well, I want to sell it and I have to put it on the marketplace and now no one's buying it. Well, since it is, 100,000 PPY tokens equals to NFT, it's liquid NFTs. If you don't want the NFT anymore, which it's on you, you can just sell one token and the NFT will go away. But the cool thing is if you stake your NFT from liquid stakers, when you redeem back from ST Pulse to Pulse, you're actually capturing fees. So you guys can see on the screen as of right now, you're getting about 6% on liquid staking. Solar validating is about 10%. So if you're just a liquid staker and you stake your NFTs, and as we return, people are using our protocol and redeeming, it's highly likely that just by running that play, you'll have a APR or APY higher than a solar validator while still having access to your capital. Because on the validator, you're locking up your tokens. There's nothing wrong with that. You're supporting the chains, you're carrying it, but you can't touch it. You would have to wait 24 hours to exit out of your validator, but you're no longer making passive income. So in our protocol, we're legitimately it's giving you yield from the validators back to the holders. And I think that's a beautiful, wonderful thing because we're solving capital efficiency. We're making it to where anyone that have any types of pulse can be part of the protocol and still make passive income. And if you're already running a validator, it's a no-brainer incentive because why wouldn't you want half the price to double the APY?
Yeah, bro, that's cool. And two, the other thing with the validator is you have to do a lot to make sure that thing is running 24/7. You can't let some power outage go out. There's certain stuff you got to do. Well, you don't even mind it, but I just don't like the responsibility of that. And this is so much easier. You still have control of all your capital. Like, I really like this, bro. Like, well, once everything goes right and I have a lot of pulse at the end of this cycle, like stuff like this is where I'm going to park it into long term. Like, I'm starting to really look at crypto as an 8 to 10 year horizon and not just think, okay, I'm going to just run this up and just sell everything at the top and just get out. And no, like, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to obviously take profits, but I'm going to start rebuilding positions in the bear market. And I don't mind once you get in early to projects that have staying power and they're going to survive here. I don't mind the bottom of the next bear market when you're still up 10, 15x from where you got in. So I really like this, bro. This is a cool project.
Yeah, thank you. And then we can kind of talk about the validators. If you're already running a validator, simply you can exit your validator, be on our protocol. But the cool thing is, we are an infrastructure company first. So we do sell validators for people, and it's a one-click executable. We sell you the full node kit. You get the node, the mouse, the keyboard, the monitor. And if you guys are curious, it's Intel CPU, 64 gigabytes of RAM, 4 terabytes of storage. Once you get it, you click the little button on your desktop, run the full chain, and you're up and running. Or you can utilize the cloud solution. Like you said, you're not a technical person or you don't have enough. Well, you can use our cloud where you just simply upload your keys, your deposit keys that your node validator creates. That if you're a validator, you know what I'm talking about. It's a deposit JSON file. You would upload it, and then you would, stake your 32 million pulse. You're good to go. It's the same thing on our protocol, except it's 16 million pulse plus the PPY token, and then you're up and running.
Cool. So right now, say I had 5 million pulse, and I went into the app right now. I staked it. I would get obviously my ST pulse, but I wouldn't get any PPY because I'm not an early staker. Is that correct?
That is correct. And so basically, and to answer your other question, so right now that we're fully live, the next thing is, do stuff like this, marketing, biz dev, and then finishing our private round because we didn't do a sacrifice in our tokenomics and our docs. And once we finish that, then we will, deploy liquidity into different dexes. And then our token, PPY, Project Pi Yield, will be live to trade, and anyone can use the token, and anyone could become a validator and start validating on our protocol. But anyone can liquid stake right now, yet. So if you have 5 million, you could liquid stake it, you get your ST Pulse back, and you're making 6%. That APY is variable. It can go up, it can go down, but it's, again, if you already have pulses sitting in our wallet, it's a no-brainer incentive, because again, you're just getting passive income that's generated from the validators.
Okay. And then for the NFTs, those are for the early people. It's kind of a bonus for doing that. So is there a time when we can start staking the NFT or getting NFTs to stake?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, once PPY is live, you can just simply buy the token, OTC on the market on this decentralized exchanges. Our TGE price would be at 3 cents, so 100,000 PPY would be 3 racks. Now we are in our fundraising round, so if you're interested, you can do that at a discounted price. And again, if you're an early staker, you got the token for free because you supported us and you wanted it to happen. So you locked up your hard-earned money for 90 plus days, and then now you got access to it about a week ago. And the early stakers can use the entire protocol in its entirety, the Pi pools, energy staking, and the liquid staking. But anyone right now today can liquid stake.
Awesome. So guys, there you go. If you just have Pulse sitting in your wallet and you're not in the PulseX pool or anything, it's just sitting there. Even if it's a million or whatever, just take half of it and throw it in. I mean, if it's just sitting there doing nothing, put it to work. That's the whole point of Pulsechain. You earn this staked Pulse. So that's what if I had 1 million Pulse in my wallet, I would put 450,000 into the pool, and then once I got my ST Pulse, I would go and take that and throw it in the ST Pulse pool right there.
There you go. Yep.
And then it's just that you don't get. It's the same thing as holding it liquid, right? You don't. Once you get that ST Pulse, it's still counting, right? If it's in the liquidity pool. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it, man. I like this.
Yeah, man. And then the cool thing is too, we've hand built everything. So one thing you can look at, if you go to the top where it says data on the nav bar, and you go to protocol stats. So this is our full blown analytics. So you can see everything on our protocol. People like to see charts. So we have this. Once this loads up, this shows the total deposits into the entirety. So you have how much liquid staking Pulse we got, how much is in the Pi pools, how much is total with the US dollar amount. And then once this chart loads up, you can actually see the amount of Pulse that's actually getting into our protocol over time since launch, which is awesome. I think that's great to always see the data and the analytics, and then you can go to the next one, liquid staking. You can kind of go through it. But I think just being transparent, just seeing everything. And a lot of people like to go on chain and all that stuff, but you can literally just see all the data and the statistics here. And again, that's the historical exchange rate. So if you scroll up, so for every 1 Pulse you deposit, you're actually getting back 0.002 more Pulse. So it's going to get to the point where it could be, every 1 Pulse you're getting, you're going to be getting back 0.1 Pulse. And when when Pulse goes up, I mean, it's like you literally giving us 100. Shit, you're already making $10 off rip just by utilizing our protocol.
I like to do that. That's cool. And then the Pi pools, that's
the validators. Yep. So it's the people who have their Pulse and their PPY, and the people just liquid staked. And then once it has that either 8 million because of the early stakers or the 32 million, it'll create a Pi pool or essentially a validator. And then the rewards are split via the validators with the Pulse and the PPY, and then the rewards coming from the validators back to the Pulse holders.
Gotcha. So if you don't do 8, you have to. This is obviously the minimum is 8 million for this. So if you just do liquid staking with less, you're not gonna obviously get into the to these pools.
Well, yes and no. It's just pulled together, so it's like kind of like a first come first serve. So the amount on the liquid staking side can be any amount, but once it hits, if someone is basically pre-launch, like someone created a validator in our protocol, it's just waiting for an additional, and with these early stakers, either an additional 24 million Pulse or 60 million Pulse. The second that happens, I mean, that the liquid sticker already has their ST pulse, but the second that happens, there's going to be more. It's like a feedback loop system. The more validators that are on a protocol, the more pulse that's going to be earned, which means the more rewards, which means the higher the APY. So technically, let's just say you were to stake, 1 million pulse, you could be in that quote unquote pool, but again, you still have access to your liquidity. It's just pairing it and then deploying it to the official smart contract to be a validator. Because
okay, I got you.
Yep. So you still need the 32 million on the actual protocol. That doesn't change, but on our protocol, we're just splitting it in half to where if you already have the infrastructure, if you're already validated, you're just doing half, but you're also, and as incentive, you're getting our token as well.
Yep, that's cool. Gotcha. That makes much more sense.
And this is our PPY token, which again, it is out, but it's just not live, but this shows the inflation rate over time. So one thing that I didn't mention is, our token is actually deflationary. So even though it's inflated to the node operators every 28 days, we're also burning it as well too. So that basically means those NFTs that we talked about, it's going to become scarce. So yeah, man, it's going to be crazy because it's going to get to the point where if the protocol itself is generating, hundreds of thousands of dollars every cycle, and then if you're just an NFT holder and people are redeeming, I mean, the amount of yield you can get just for having 100,000 PPY is substantial. And yep, you can kind of scroll over, see the intervals, you can see the inflation rate. I mean, it's all there, man. I mean, Chris did a phenomenal job on the tokenomics. You can check out our docs. It's physics, man. It's physics. It's beautiful, man. So he knows his math is right. You see that dot? If that dot goes off that line, that trend line, that means his math is wrong. But his math is on point because we battle tested our protocol for 10 months, making sure everything was copacetic before we went on mainnet.
So is the interval, is that 1 day? Is that multiple days?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it's every 28 days is whenever we basically do it. It's PPY is going to be inflated over 4 years. So basically next happening, there will be no more inflation. It'll just be 100% deflationary, but PPY will be rewarded out to the validators every 28 days.
Gotcha.
And then, that's the fees. So the redemption fees that we talked about. So if you stake your NFT, the redemption fees, portion of it will be burned. A portion of it will go to the Project Pi Foundation, and then the portion of it we go back to the NFT holders. So, just taking, for simple math, let's just say we, generated 100,000 or 1 million, or let's do big numbers. Let's say we generated 10 million in fees. Take 1.25% of that. It's like what, 100,000, 2,500 K, and you take a percentage of that, and it all depends on the amount of NFTs that are staked. But if there was only one NFT stake, that person would get all that rewards, bro. And again, that's just from a redemption. There's no lock. There's you're just getting passive income. And then when you go to when we go to the app, I can show you, just click claim rewards. And it is a first come, first serve. So it's like you got to stake the NFT, you got to click that button.
Gotcha.
Our early stakers. So again, our token is deflationary. So, we said, hey, if you stake your tokens for 90 days, you'll get rewarded. But some people unstaked it before the snapshot. So you can see people, we already burned 2.3 million, which is like 1% of supply before the token was even out. So and 23 NFTs are already burned. So that means, again, PPY is already scarce, and the NFTs are going to be even more scarce because just by holding 100,000 PPY, it's 3 cents at TGE, which is 3K. But what if it goes to 30 cents? Okay, now you have a 30K NFT. What if it goes to 3 cents, $3? And then you're making all that passive income. You can see why you would want to have that NFT or 100,000 people, whichever way you look at it, because it's the same thing.
Gotcha. That's cool, bro. This is interesting. This is really interesting. And because my strategy right now for Pulsechain has been to get into the leverage plays, or like PTGC and UFO and Alien and Anki. So I pretty much hold 0 Pulsechain liquid right now because I don't think it's going to do anything until Ethereum makes its new all-time high at least. And then Richard starts to dump some of them. If the 30,000 he's got, I think that's just the way he moves. So Pulsechain could move last here. So that my strategy's been to hold these altcoins and then start taking profits into Pulsechain later on this year and then let Pulse rip. So obviously stacking a lot of Pulsechain is the main goal here for the long run. But I like this here where I don't need the full 32 million to get the full benefits of being a validator. And with this, you're pretty much earning more with less.
I love the way you said that. Earning more with less. Exactly, man. That's beautiful.
Bro, yeah, I like this, man. This is cool. Good stuff, bro. I like it. So, are there any timelines coming up here in the near future that we need to be looking out for with updates, or when everything is going live with the PPY token on the market for us? Give us a scoop.
Yeah. I mean, if you're active in our community, join our Telegram. You get the sauce there first. Every week we do dev updates, just explaining everything we did, whether that's through our website or documentation on the hub and all that. Again, we're in phase 2. Phase 2 right now is just business development and marketing, just letting people use the protocol, seeing how it works, finishing on our rounds. And then once we do that, that will be phase 3. And phase 3 is PPY will be live to trade, and anyone could be a validator in our protocol. And anyone can get their PPY, and if they have 100,000, you can stake their NFT. One thing I also forgot to mention is if you can only stake up to 4 NFTs max per wallet. Again, if you have more than that, you can do it per wallet. So only 4 max per wallet. But yeah, man, the system we have is pretty cracked. We've been building it. Project Pi is almost 2 years old, but we've been building this DeFi protocol for almost an entire year. And we just have so much more innovative stuff cooking, coming, bro. Like it's insane, man. We've already been through 4 audits. We already have amazing partnerships. We're basically making our PPY or utility governance token, not a token that you need for our protocol, but you would want it, right? Just to give a little alpha, like making PPY a real asset, or making to where it's backed by gold or something like that. So like if you hold this PPY, it's like, oh shit, like I'm actually holding something that's tangible. And then just looking at stuff like AI agents and all this other cool stuff. But yeah, man, we're cooking, man. We're here for the long time, and what we built is phenomenal. Our goal for Project Pi again is infinite yields, infinite solutions, infinite possibilities. So like one other alpha is like almost being like an octopus or like a vampire attack, where we become a virus, where we're going to be integrated in everyone's infrastructure, siphoning liquidity from other chains, bringing it back to Project Pi, which is ultimately bringing it back to Pulsechain. Like we have so much cooking, but got to tell you, man, it's only a 4-man team. So it was 2, me and Chris built everything from scratch. And shout out to my boy JB. He came through. He pulled up to the Pitch Fest with us back in March on his birthday, recorded everything, made a dope ass video, and now we have him on the team, man. Super dope guy. Can't do without him, man. Because Chris and I were always heads down building, and he's visualizing what we're doing and doing the marketing for us in videos and tweets. So very appreciative of that. Working with the artists to do some, even though we're not an NFT project, working with the artists that have super dope art. And yeah, just building out the team, scaling out the business, just making sure we have a successful token launch, and letting anyone win, man. We're all about, passive income. We're all about community. We go to universities educating people. We go to real life Pulsechain events. We dox ourselves. I mean, shit, we're backed by Coinbase's Standard Crypto Initiative, where Chris goes out to Washington, D.C., educating lawmakers on the importance of blockchain, specifically node infrastructure. And on a sprinkle on top, we talk about Pulsechain. But yeah, man, we're doing a lot, bro. We really are. But at the same time, we love it, man. We love the grind. We love the hustle. And, we really, support, what everything Richard Hart and Pulsechain is doing in the community is just amazing, man. Especially meeting them in real life. Every event that we go to, New York, Vancouver, the Pulsechain tour, like it's just great to see people who are they have a mission, have a goal, And I've been in many chains since 2020. There's no community, there's no blockchain like Pulsechain, man. It's truly decentralized. There's no fuckery going on, man. We are legit. It's literally a community ran chain. So if we do good, the chain's going to do good. If we do bad, the market's just going to decide. But at the end of the day, we want to build a product that works, and that's going to be here for a long time, and then we can scale it. And Chris and I don't just see this as like another DeFi protocol. We're trying to build a legitimate company here where we're actually hiring people and changing people's lives. So that's the mission and that's the goal, man.
That's what's up. And that's cool, man. And there's something like this too. It doesn't really need to be rushed. I mean, if you're going after people that have bigger bags of Pulsechain that are kind of just sitting, those people are going to be very conservative with what they do. Like, this is something that should catch their attention. That you're not taking crazy risks. Everything is right there, how it works in front of your face. And who wouldn't want to earn more than if you turn that into a validator, or if you were validating? It makes so much more sense to me. I wouldn't want to go through the headache of validating when I can earn more with less here, and then have multiple ways of producing income with the liquidity pools. And I don't think there's going to be very much impermanent loss in a token that basically tracks Pulsechain, or it's whatever. Maybe it's at most 10% off with that spread from, the difference between the two, the staked one and the regular one. But other than that, I don't see crazy impermanent loss.
Well, actually, there will be, we deploy, again, we're not like fully on mainnet, but if you look at any liquid staking token, I mean, you can go to DeFiLlama.com/LSD. It's basically pegged 1-to-1 to the token and more. So you can think of, like, once we mature and everything, just think of it Pulse, but like a supercharged Pulse, where it's like, if Pulse is 0.004, ST Pulse could be 0.005. So yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, you basically explain it phenomenally. We can go to the hub real quick too, so I can kind of show you how all that's going to work. So if you go back to the main website, or you can click the About Us, actually, the last tab. This is kind of just going through our tokenomics, token allocation, all that stuff, what our token is, ERC404, how that works. That's pretty cool. So this is the tokenomics that we got. If you go to our docs, that shows all the vesting and the lockup periods and all that stuff. But if you go to app, the second link, this is the actual DApp, or the decentralized applications. Very easy, very simple. First tab is node. You want a physical node? Cool, you can buy it. And then you have the early staking tab. That's obviously done. You can validate. You can liquid stake NFT. Boom, done. And on the left side, you have our documentation going back to our website and our stats. Super simple, super easy. It's not too hard. I mean, it's so simple, bro. We made it so simple. You can become a validator on your phone, bro. I did that by accident. That's how clean our shit is, man. Because we were just testing stuff out, and Chris sent me a deposit JSON file. I was like, in my head, I'm like, can I validate while I'm on my phone? And yeah, I started making 40% APY passive income in less than a minute, bro, on my phone.
That's cool. So I'll be doing liquid staking. Fortunately, I don't have very much Pulse at all, but once we make some X's on these altcoins, I'll have some Pulse, and I'll definitely be spinning up my own node on here. Yeah, man.
But yeah, this is the awesome. Bot entirety, man. Super simple. In the bottom right, you can click that little question thing. That's a little chat bot. You're going to be talking to me directly, but just join the Telegram, man. Join our Telegram. We have the community there. You can ask questions. You can DM us. We're always open to talk about anything. We're always here, man. We're just trying to build dope shit.
Yeah. So right, the Telegram. I'm assuming is it on?
Yeah. If you actually click the link tree, it's in our bio. The link tree.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then the Telegram should be like, the second link. That's our Telegram. You have our LinkedIn documentation at the top. You have our Instagram, YouTube, X. So it's all there, man.
Perfect. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. So 83, you in here right now. Definitely give Project Pi a follow. Follow him on Twitter. I just put the link for the app down in the chat. Give it a follow. Jump on there, try it out. If you have some Pulse, just stake 100,000. Just mess with it. Learn how to use this. It's a new way of earning yield on our Pulse chain that's just sitting in our bags. Unless you're in the Pulsex pool or farm, that's the only place I recommend doing anything with your Pulse chain, unless you know what you're doing and you're creating liquidity pairs of like Aave and Pulse or whatever PRC20. But again, there's a lot of impermanent loss risk there, and that's why I've had a lot of people stay away from that. You know, you've got to be doing that with money you can afford to lose. We'll put it that way. So this is a lot safer, in my opinion. And yeah, I like this, bro. Definitely, everyone in here, follow the Twitter, join the Telegram, and support Project Pi. You know, definitely a cool project that is going to keep people on the chain, I think.
Yeah, man. Well said. I couldn't say it any better. I just want to say, thank you for having me on the stream. Again, you can follow us on all social media platforms at Project Pi 314. If you want to follow me, my Twitter, well, on all my social media platforms is likewise Van. And if you want to follow my co-founder, Lefty Chris 13. And if you want to follow my boy JB, he has a kind of a hard Twitter handle, Crypto Cloudy with some O's in it, but cool dude. Just come on the Telegram and chop it up with us, man. We don't bite, I promise.
Good stuff, man. Well, Van, definitely appreciate you coming on. I learned a lot. I'm definitely going to be experimenting with this, and I'm sure I'll definitely be joining the Telegram and definitely looking forward to what's coming. I'm definitely excited, man. Congrats on the project. It's definitely something that my community, I think, will enjoy, and excited for you.
Hey, man, appreciate it. And if you guys are coming to the Vegas for the 369 Pulsechain event, we'll see you guys there.
I'm gonna try my other part of Vibra Finance, Lindsay. I think she's gonna be out there for sure. So I'll definitely have her watch this and definitely reach out to you, and you guys can definitely meet out there because you got a supporter here now. I'll definitely, on social media, like and push out your stuff. I like the project. You seem like a good person, and I don't know about Alan who reached out. He's a little shady, but you seem like a good guy. So definitely got you.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother. Hey, thank you, Alan. Shout out, bro.
Awesome. All right, guys, smash that like button. Follow Project Pi on Twitter. Follow Van on Twitter. Join the Telegram. That gets your Pulse stake. Start earning some passive income on it. If it's just sitting in your wallet, that's what we need to be doing. Earning, putting our cryptos to work, and not just sitting there. So we'll see you guys on the next one.